Welcome to the summer series of the Tuck Shop podcast. Hi, David.
Hello, Matthew.
It is not summer.
You know what?
It has been cold.
Am I the only one that noticed that?
Yeah. No, I have.
Is it
I
colder?
was freezing all weekend.
Is it colder than it should be?
Yes. It feels like it's colder than it should be.
Yeah, it's okay. So it's not just me.
No, it seems to. I also feel
See,
like...
I was prepared to sing a verse of Gershwin's Summertime, but I'm not going to do it till summertime comes.
No, well, that's a later episode. We could all dread ourselves for that one.
Practice.
But no, it's good. We're kind of kicking off the summer series. For those who didn't live through this last year, this was a Betsy Martinelli invention.
Yeah.
Said, why do you guys do like best ofs or whatever? And we kind of said, why don't we do 50-50? We're going to do some live stuff. We'll do some best of interviews
From
because
the marketing mind of Martinelli.
we will take it. We got some good ones to kick off the next couple of weeks, but we're going to kind of keep you in the loop of what things are going on. Well, we just came off the alumni golf.
Yeah, we did. It was, again, what a really good weather day.
That was probably the best weather you could hope for golf.
And a lot of new sponsors and a good bit of alum came back. So it's always it's a good day when you can spend your entire day just sitting in the sun. and get paid.
I did not golf this year, waiting for on some medical stuff. But you kind of sat and took pictures and
Yeah.
Oh, I owe you pictures.
Send me those.
Yeah. But it was good.
Yeah, it was. It was, again, and it's at Wimber. Wimber's a very nice course. They treat us very well.
Special thanks to Wimber Country Club. Those guys have been great for us since I brought the tournament back in 18.
Food was delicious.
Yeah. It was very good.
No complaints.
I'm not a big Scout potatoes fan, but those are really good. They did really good.
Yeah, everything was good. Chicken's again, this isn't coming from somebody with a culinary background, but chicken can be tricky.
Yes.
You can
get there's a reason you and I as politicians or recovering politicians know that the rubber chicken tour is named that because you go to these
pretty easy to make rubber chicken.
You can it's pretty easy to screw up chicken.
But theirs was not, my point.
No, theirs was very good.
There was not rubbery, synthetic.
It was great.
It was very good.
Got a couple of names for podcast guests in the fall.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yep.
Talked to randomly. It was not at the tournament, but it ran into Jake Stifler.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
If those of you who at the right time will remember, Jake ran housing.
How could you not
you may have
remember
had a experience with Jake, but he's been gone 20 plus years from UP. He's saying, but he looks the same.
Like the day he walked off campus.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know what he's doing, but he's living right on that one. But it was good to see Jake. I worked with Jake for a lot of years.
Well, he was director of housing, so living in housing,
Yeah. Well, usually that would make you age faster, I would think.
No,
Maybe it did. Maybe he just always has looked because of housing.
I knew
because of the shenanigans.
Jake Stifler he was like cool as a cucumber all the time.
Every
I never
time.
saw him upset.
No.
With good reason, I'm sure, on a daily or hourly basis. Maybe I just never saw him at a time when he was upset, but
yeah. Well, no, I don't think I could think of a time either.
Cool
actually, honestly, because we did a lot of prep work and I was working on the staff side.
Yeah, that's a big responsibility.
And
yeah, getting things just right.
It's the you don't think it is until something goes wrong. When you're coming that first day of school and you're moving your kid in the first time and you want everything to be right because that's the confident. It has to be right.
Things have to be
not,
right.
Then it's a bad launching for what could be a bad 4 years.
And even in life, housing varies. One person's castle is another person's mess.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it's it's a wide variety of what people consider to be quote unquote right.
Yeah. No, so it was a very good event. Doesn't mean we're going to be doing nothing. There's some interesting stuff. A lot of prep this summer. I'm going to tell you guys right now. We're going to harp on this as we go through. Be starting to think. 100th anniversary starts in a little over 6 months.
Yeah.
2027 is just around the corner. So if you are thinking, hey, I got a group, I want to come back, we want to do something, reach out. Reach out to David. Reach out to me. We're here. We can start putting stuff on the calendar. We want as many people back on campus having fun to celebrate 100 years of this place.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big year-long party.
Yeah,
and
it's going to be. In fact, I'm going to dig for something here real quick that's going to relate to our interview today.
He brought material.
Not really.
He did show prep. I've heard you on the radio.
Yeah.
I'm
I
surprised.
don't have cards here. Keep talking. I'm going to.
Well, while David's digging into that, one thing that I don't want to say that we aren't doing anything over the summer because I'm going to be a little greedy and promote our stuff. I will have the link down below. Geosciences. Now, this is a geoscience event, so it's not officially like an official alumni event. But with the faculty here, we decided that we wanted to do something because we're still celebrating the new department. So we are doing a Pirates game in August. I'll have the link down below. That's Geosciences and Friends, so it can really be anybody. But especially if you took a class, you loved it, you were a major, you were a minor for geography, geology, you did GIS, you did environmental studies. We want you to come and hang out with us. That's a department thing, but we're real excited. We're still having our kickoff celebration. So I'll have the link for that in the description down below. David, have you found your notes?
I did, and it relates to our guest for today. Speaking of things that are going to happen this summer, excuse me, August, we're going to welcome back a larger group of Lambda Sigma Chi brothers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so they're doing their big reunion. I think it's at Stackhouse Park in Johnstown, but we're going to have them come up for a tour 1 to 3 on the 15th of August.
Okay.
So that's again, we kind of transitioning into one of our best of guests was also a big Lambda Sigma Chi brother. So a lot of his other brothers will be coming together. And it's cool because this is I say it all the time, Matt. This is a group of guys who were here in the 70s.
Yeah.
And man, it's like, who's got the best stories? Next to people that went to school here between like 1986 and 88.
The stuff that I have learned from the folks in the 70s is very interesting.
And I always say it, Matt. Those guys were like pioneers.
Yeah.
I say it, I'll say it 100 times more. Like 1973, college is for a lot of people a new thing because the industry's changing, and then there's this new college up on the hill, and someone says
it's a dramatic. It's us up on the hill. We're new. 4-year programs, new for us.
Yeah.
College is a concept, changing, new for the world.
Absolutely.
Our region changing. This is
the
downturn of steel and coal, and before the '77 flood, where it kind of was the big end of it in a lot of different ways.
Like, what are you going to do in ninth grade? Going to get a job in the mill?
Yeah.
Well, 73, 74, 75. You're right. There's this thing called college. And there's this new college up on the hill.
Yep.
So every time we talk to these guys, I'm like, you guys truly were pioneers, not only for Pitt Johnstown, but for a generation that started to look at college in a different way.
Yeah. No, pretty neat across the board.
And they had the best acts that ever came through a college campus.
Oh yeah, no, the stuff, the music, the stuff. I still think, there's some options there. I'm going to eventually talk to you about, but I don't want to leak it online until we have a better plan than just blurt it out.
But speaking of things that are happening over the summer, and tying, into the guest that we are going to broadcast today, Lambda Sigma Chi. You'll see more about that as we get closer to August.
And actually, it's a good reason to or a good excuse to dovetail into our intro. Tony Golden has now come several times to campus and done different events, and his just kind of a group of guys from the 70s that love this place. And Tony's got some great stories, and he was on campus a little bit ago, and we had a chance to sit down with him, and it's just the kind of a great, fun way, I think, to kick off our summer series here today. So, again, we thank you for continuing to listen. Share it out. We're going to have episodes like this all through the whole summer, so we're not going anywhere. It's going to be a little less work on David and I, but David's here all the time.
Quality will still be there, though.
Yes, our C+ quality.
Quality checked. Quality checked podcast.
We're good. So we're going to cut over to Tony Golden now, and we will talk to you back live next week. Today's show, we welcome Tony Golden to the show. Tony, thanks for coming on.
You're welcome, my man.
You have now taken part in 2 events that you've helped put together and bring folks back.
Yeah.
First things first, when did you graduate?
My first year here was the fall of 70, and I was here until 73, and I took a sabbatical, which I'm still on.
Which you're still on. But you love
Anyways,
you love the place.
When I was here and first came here, the only building, they had Biddle, Krebs Hall, the dorms, the library, I think, was the newest building at that time. The student union, it was the same building that had the gym where the basketball, all the play, and the concerts took place.
Yeah.
So and it's pretty amazing. And you knew everybody you knew every face on campus. It was like it's like a little private country. We're in 600 acres of land around us. You're like in another country. It was our own little country, and we loved it.
What kind of, you talked about the concerts. First, what did you study when you were here before the sabbatical?
I was pre-med.
You were pre-med?
I was pre-med. And I was paying my way through college as a electrician for a big electric company.
Okay.
And my grades weren't going to get me into med school, so the company offered me first-class electrical rates back in, which was phenomenal money. So I said, well, all right, I'll take a break and I'll go full-time as an electrician. So that's what happened. I took some night classes at Mount Aloysius. I got interested in art while I was here. My last year, I got interested in art, which I didn't. I had no interest at all in high school, but I just somehow got interested in it. So to keep me in that college mood, that environment, I took some night classes in art at Mount Aloysius. But one of the cool things about this was the people were very creative. I mean, and we sort of, the people we hooked up with, very very in tune with the arts, very creative people, and they went on to be some pretty creative careers. And so that's kind of how our group sort of started getting together. And there would be 20, 25 of us that were always at the same party, and because we all had our same kind of interest, But and another thing I remember about that time were the amazing concerts.
I wanted to ask you about the concerts. What kind of concerts did you see?
Our friend was on the programming board, so it was amazing. He would get groups like he was responsible for bringing Fleetwood Mac in, right when Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks joined the band. That was their first. This was one of their first stops. Actually, was here at UPJ, and the Mark, that was on the programming board, he had to sort of lie to their manager, say, "Oh, we got a big venue, plenty of room." Well, they showed up, and they're down in the student union gym, which is what you have with there.
It's
now.
the Cambria room now for anyone who would be the last.
And I can remember
chunk of years
sitting and watching the group being set up, the band being set up. And my friend comes up and notches me on the shoulder and says, "Look over here." And Stevie Nicks standing right next to me. I'm there, oh my God, I melted, It's like I was in love with her. So, and after that concert, my friend Mark knew where they were staying at the motel right at the bottom of GB Hill. So that next morning, we went down there, and sure enough, they're having breakfast, and we had breakfast. 3 of us had breakfast with Fleetwood Mac. It was awesome.
What's breakfast with Fleetwood Mac like? Is it
it
like?
Was more like a donuts and coffee.
Do you talk about the show? Do you talk about random stuff?
Talking about music, where they were headed next, small talk like that. It was pretty cool. I just said, called him an amazing drummer. He was Fleetwood, you know. And then another cool story it has to do with music at UPJ. This is when I had left the university. I was still working as an electrician in Ohio, and I came back for the weekend. And my buddy calls me and he says, "I got this group. They're going to be playing in the log cabin. And I got them really cheap. They're doing college coffee house gigs around the country, and they had a spot to fill, so I got them. So I said, he invited me down, so I come down. They're down at the log cabin. I know there was maybe 19, 20 of us. We roll a keg in down at the log cabin, and the band starts playing. It was the Police.
Okay.
And they're playing, and they come back to the townhouses and party with us and everything, This is before. And so we're good. My least favorite song they played was Roxanne. That was my least favorite song. Like a few weeks later, I hear this song on the radio. It's Roxanne. I said, hey, I know those guys. Just saw those guys. We partied with them. Little did I know what was going to happen with Sting and the Police. I'd have had so much stuff signed, and autographed.
You never know, right?
No, you didn't know. I mean, they didn't know that what was going to happen. And they just took off. Pretty amazing.
When you decided to come, what made you decide to come to UPJ for when you were?
It was convenient. It was close by. I come from Portage, so it was only 20 minutes down the road. I was the only second male from our high school that came to this college.
Okay.
Yeah, at that time.
And
Another interesting point, I was commuting at first, and then winter came on, and I had a nasty rear end accident with somebody on the ramp. So my folks suggested maybe I should stay on campus. So, all right, I signed up for staying on campus. My real name is Jan Anthony Golden, so they had me down as Jan Golden. I show up to my dorm, it's the girls' dorm.
Oh.
I mean, Laurel. And I'm there, this is great. And the girl that I was with, she was cool with it, and then I got busted about a week later by the dorm. I got kicked out and I think I was put in Hickory after that. But it was a great. You'd get up in the morning and there'd be turkeys roosting on your car. It was crazy. Wild turkeys. It was crazy. And like I said, it was like your own little community, your own little country, where everybody knew everybody. You recognized everybody. On campus. It was so cool.
And you've now done two events on campus where you've kind of gotten, and we're used to from our side of okay, here's a fraternity, or here's a sport or comeback or do this. Or you don't have, you're friends.
Yeah, it was just a group of friends that just stayed connected, and one reunion I put together was a memorial reunion for one of our friends that had passed away. And that was actually, I think, just 2 years ago. We did that.
Was 20
for Tom DiNapoli.
22.
Yeah, and
because I remember doing the tours and stuff with your group. 22.
Yeah.
But this is a great thing. One of the things I want to you talked about art too. I think at that homecoming, you presented some art that you had done.
I did the university treated us so well when we had the memorial for Tom that I became a sculptor, wood carver and sculptor. So I wanted to present something to the university and as a thank you gift. And I did an eagle carving in memory of Tom and presented it to the university. And it's up in the president's conference room now. Yeah.
It's really amazing. If anyone's on campus, you get a chance to go through and see it. It's just a fantastic piece.
But yeah, like I said, Dave especially really helped out with that whole memorial thing we had. It was awesome.
No, it was amazing to see, and actually, to be fair to you guys, I tell that story a good bit because you could just see that emotion and that memory and that connection that people feel when they come back here.
And we were able to go through the old, the same room that he lived. His brother was here, and he was able to go to the room and take a picture of where Tom's original room was on campus at Maple Hall. So it was very cool.
No, it's great. We're always glad to have you all here.
Yeah,
on campus.
We're hoping that we can do this again, before we're not be able to do it. So,
Tony, thank you for coming and spending some time with us on the show.
You're welcome, Matt. Thanks for having us.
Tony's back with a story. Like a Marvel movie, we have a post-credit scene for this episode.
That's right, baby. Yeah, this has to do with the camaraderie that we established with our crew. I think it was in '72, 3 of the fellows decided to leave UPJ and they transferred to Kent State, Ohio. And so they made that move, but we still kept we were still kept in touch with them. We'd visit them, they would visit us. And some of the people that lived on campus in dorms decided to move off campus here at UPJ. They moved to a farmhouse outside of Holsapple. Now, I think there was like 6 or 7 of them lived in the farmhouse. So we all, on weekends, would congregate at this farmhouse, to party and just have a good time.
Yeah.
The fellows that transferred to Kent State met a group of people that also lived in a farmhouse. outside of the campus at Kent State.
Nice.
So now we had this farmhouse parties, we called them. At least once every month, we were either going to Kent State, down the turnpike to Kent State, or they were driving down the turnpike to UPJ, the farmhouse.
Nice.
And then we decided to start getting together on every Memorial weekend. So the first Memorial Weekend gathering I was put in charge of, and I picked this lake near Portage, Wilmore Dam. That's where we decided to do it. And we had maybe 25 people all together, hike down to the lake to have this party, this weekend party, Memorial Weekend. But moving all the gear down, I mean, we had like 5 kegs of beer, all kind of ham. We did it up right for when we did a gathering.
Yeah.
So Wilmore Dam is it's in a steep valley. So when we unloaded all the cars in this parking area, and to get the kegs down, we'd roll them down the hill towards the lake. And it was it's in the woods. We're rolling. So my friend Tom the Napoli, he would get like maybe 10 feet below me, and I would roll the keg to him. He would stop it. Then I'd go 10 feet below him, roll the keg to him, and we just kept doing this to get the keg down close to the lake, the campsite. So we were on the steepest part of the hill, maybe 100 feet or so above the lake, and I rolled a keg to Tom, and it hit a little rock or a stub, and it ricocheted off to the side, and Tom missed the keg. So now the keg's rolling through all this mountain laurel and brush, headed down towards the lake. And we're hearing this all happen. It's all crushing leaves and brush and everything. Next thing you know, we hear this kapoosh. It made it all the way to the lake. So we run down, we get down to the lake, and there's a grandfather's down there with his little nephew, and they were fishing. And we come down and we said, hey, did you see a keg of beer come by here? And the guy says, it's the strangest thing. I'm fishing here with my grandson, and we hear this commotion come. We thought it was a bear, so we were getting kind of afraid. We thought a bear was coming through the woods. And he said, all of a sudden, this big silver can came flying through the air, and it landed about 15 feet out in the lake. So there's it was a quarter keg of beer. Jenny Cream Ale, that was our favorite beer. So now we're trying to dive for it to get it, but the lake, it was so steep and the water was cold. It was impossible we were going to find that keg of beer. So we decided to go to the state store in Portage and make up for the keg of beer. We bought like a quarter keg of wine, worth of wine. But while we're down at the state store, I tell the story of what happened, So it's like months later, I'm sitting in a bar, and I hear these 2 guys stand at the end of the bar talking about this keg of beer that's in Wilmore Dam. They say, did you hear about that? Here, the guy we bought the beer, the wine off of was telling the story
people
to everybody, and it was spreading through town like wildfire. So they're telling this story, and then I go up to them and I say, hey, let me tell you about that keg of beer. And that keg of beer is still in Wilmore Dam.
Well, there we go. Let's get the crew together.
And that was in '74. That happened, yeah. But and then we would do, every Memorial Weekend, we would either do it in Pennsylvania or we'd do it in Ohio. Newton put the one together in Ohio. We went down to Athens. We rented a farmhouse down there for a weekend. So good time. But that's how, we kept that connection. And we always had at least, there was 20, 25 of us that would do this between the Kent State people and the UPJ people. So it was kind of cool.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
I can't imagine sitting there fishing. Next thing you know, this flying through the air.
We could hear it crashing, and all we heard was a big kapoosh. And he goes, and it landed right there over there. So the guys were diving, trying to retrieve it, but it was impossible.
Oh, I love it, Tony. Thanks for adding that. I think that's a really cool story to have on
it. My
it.
pleasure.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. The Tuck Shop podcast is recorded live on the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown campus. Update your contact information with us by visiting johnstown.pitt.edu/alumni. Connect with us online via Facebook and LinkedIn, or consider donating to the university at give2, that's giveto.pitt.edu/giveupj.
This has been a production of Quantum Wave Media. Views expressed do not necessarily reflect the opinion of the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown.